This is Randall Cunningham. He was a 4-time Pro Bowl quarterback who played 16 seasons in the NFL. While he was a record-breaking quarterback in the NFL, he also smashed home some godly punts. And this video is about him and his outrageous ability to hammer footballs with his leg/footish area. Randall Cunningham was born on March 27, 1963, in Santa Barbara, California. He was the youngest of 4 siblings in his family. His father, Samuel, was a railroad worker, and his mother, Mabel, was a nurse. His brother, Sam Cunningham, also played in the NFL as a 1-time Pro Bowl fullback for the New England Patriots. Needless to say, it was a football family. During the offseason, Sam needed someone to throw him passes during his workouts. And who better than little bro? Thus, Randall Cunningham's path to being one of the greatest quarterbacks in Eagles history began. He was a star at Santa Barbara High School, dialing up 2,344 yards and 26 touchdowns in his senior season, which was good enough to lead the team to the state championship game. He also booted some long punts in high school, starting his brief but legendary punting career. After high school, Cunningham decided to take his talents to UNLV to further his football career. During his freshman year at college, he proved his worth on the JV team at UNLV. But he also had to struggle with the tragic deaths of both of his parents, his mother dying of cancer and his father suffering a heart attack. Despite his personal struggles, Cunningham took over the starting job in his sophomore season, totaling 2,847 yards passing and 17 passing touchdowns, while also smashing 27 punts for 1,233 yards, an average of 45.7 yards per punt. Just for measurement, if Randall would have punted in the 2017 college football season, he would be in the top 10 in punt yards per attempt. The next year at UNLV, he thrived at both positions, being named to the All-Pacific Coast Athletic Association team as a quarterback and a punter. He was also named to the College Football All-American team as a punter that season and gained the same honor in his 1984 senior season. Randall's senior season was his best year statistically in college, throwing for 2,898 yards and 26 touchdowns, capping off 3 straight seasons with at least 2,500 passing yards. That's an accomplishment only achieved by John Elway and Doug Flutie at the time. He also booted 62 punts for 2,886 yards, an average of 46.5 yards per punt, which would be a top 5 average for punters that competed in the 2017 college football season. The stats reflected his accomplishments on the field. He led UNLV to their first and only 10-win season in school history, finishing 11-2 with a bowl win. However, this season was nullified because UNLV was using academically ineligible players during the season. All in all, UNLV had to forfeit 18 wins from 1983 and 1984, making their combined record for those 2 seasons 0-24. The pesky NCAA strikes again. Nonetheless, Cunningham's college performance granted him passage to the NFL, and he was selected as the 37th pick in the 1985 NFL Draft by the Philadelphia Eagles. He was the first quarterback off the board that year. Although Cunningham never reached the ultimate achievement in modern sports, the Super Bowl, he still had a prestigious career as an NFL quarterback. He made the Pro Bowl and was nominated to the All-Pro team 1 time in his career. By the time he left the Philadelphia Eagles, He was second on the all-time passing yards list, behind Ron Jaworski, and third on the all-time rushing yards list for the Eagles. He still holds Eagles franchise records for rush yards per attempt with 6.62, sacks taken with 422, and pass yards per attempt in playoff games. He was also awarded the Burt Bell Player of the Year award 3 times in his career. I mean, the man had 942 rushing yards in his 1990 season, which is the third best single-season rushing performance by a quarterback. He is also second on the all-time QB rushing list with 4,928 yards. He was Vic before Vic was leaving elementary school. Unfortunately, Cunningham's career was largely impacted by injuries, or he may have gone down as one of the all-time greats. Something some people might not know about Cunningham is that he was kind of a diva. One time after injury, he staged his own minicamp in Las Vegas, flying his teammates out, which honestly isn't as bad as staging your own workout in your front yard. He was also quoted saying he would like to be buried in a pyramid, which is pretty dope. I kinda agree with him on that one. Despite his success, rushing and passing in the NFL, it was his kicking stats that really jump off the page. On December 3rd, 1989, against the Giants, he hammered the longest punt in Eagles history, and the third longest punt ever in the NFL, at 91 yards.
I'm not sure why that's not a safety. Look who the punter is. Cunningham. Standing back on the inline. A good kick. A super kick. Gets away from Megan. And is still running away from Megan. Megan down at about the 15. What a job. That is unbelievable.
In 1994, he boomed an 80-yard punt, which is top 30 on the list for longest punts ever, making him the only player ever to have an 80-plus yard punt and a 90-plus yard punt in his career. The crazy thing is, dude only punted 20 times in his career. The odds of that happening in only 20 attempts is astronomical. In his punting career with just the Eagles, which was when he was in his prime, he booted only 12 punts for 620 yards. That is 51.7 yards per attempt, which would be 4 yards over the all-time career punting average leader, Shane Leckler. Yeah, I know, his small sample size of punts gives him an unfair advantage when it comes to punting average. But Cunningham was also a quarterback, and they're not usually that good at punting. Although Cunningham still hasn't been inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, I think he should be a surefire shoo-in. If anything, his golden leg alone should qualify him for a spot. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. I hope you learned a little something about old Randall that you didn't know before. In fact, why don't you mosey on down to the comment section and tell me what you learned. If you liked or hated the video, just subscribe anyway. Think of it like this. You can either get videos in the future you enjoy, or you can hate watch this channel when you want to blow off some steam. It's a win-win.